Welcome to the Krista Escamilla Show.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to this week's episode of the Krista Escamilla Show. I hope your week is treating you well wherever you're at and wherever you're at physically. I hope it's going well. If you're running, if you're walking, if you are listening in your car, thank you for choosing us. We appreciate you sharing time with us today. I am so excited about today's guest, but before we jump into this exciting topic, I do want to thank our sponsors. We are so grateful for our sponsors. Without them, we couldn't have our show. So a big thank you to Kevin Foreman of Foreman Financial, Rig ID Workwear, Midland Cap Company, Thin FR, and JoinCapClub.com. Thank you for those. Support local however you can, and just support local. That's what we're all about here at the Krista Escamilla Show. Speaking of local, you've heard me say it many, many times. We have one of the most philanthropic communities ever here in West Texas, and we are so lucky. And so I'm excited to talk about today's topic as a group of investors are looking to build the Hotel Santa Rita. And joining us today, we have some very special guests to talk more about that. Gentlemen, thank you for being with us. We have Mr. Dan Hord and Michael McWilliams. They have some titles first. Mm-hmm. We have, they are a part of HEDLOC Investments, and they are also fathers, husbands, and probably the one they're very proud of. They are Baylor Bear alumni.
Sikkim Bears, yeah.
Yes, Sikkim. So, gentlemen, thank you so much for being with us today.
Glad to be here.
Thanks for having us.
We are so excited to hear more about Hotel Santa Rita. This is an exciting project, a convention center hotel, which we all know is much needed in downtown Midland. But first, I want to hear your stories because you all share the very same sentiment as I do. I love raising my family here in West Texas. So what brought you here, and why have you chosen this as your place to raise your family?
Well, I grew up in Belleville, Texas, and married a Jenny Davis, my wife now. She's from Midland, and we had a business, sold it in 2011, and moved out to Midland.
Awesome. And she was from here, so she said, hey, let's go back. It's a great
Grew
place.
Up, third generation Midland on both sides, and so let's go out and be around her family.
I love it. Fantastic. And Michael, what brought you to West Texas?
Well, I first started working with Dan in 2006 in Houston. I joined Dan and his father's family-owned business outside of Houston in 2009 and helped navigate the sale of that business in 2010. And then it was, okay, so what do we do next? And it pitched this idea of moving to Midland, Texas. And so we moved out with the Hord family in 2011. And maybe just to back up a bit, HEDLOC Investment Company is the name of the entity, and it's a family office. Mm-hmm. And it was set up in 2005 by Dan and Jack when they both had very full-time jobs,
right,
just as a kind of a passive investment entity. And so when we sold Dan's business, we moved out here in 2011 to focus full-time on the family office. And by the way, headlock, it sounds like an aggressive term.
Yeah, how did you get the name? I'm thinking wrestling, a headlock.
We're going to take all the competition down. No, it's actually an acronym for, so Jenny, Dan's wife, her twin sister, Shelly, is married to Jack Harper. And so the 6 kids are Hunt, Ellie, Davis, Lord, Olivia, Caroline.
I love that.
Mm-hmm. Headlock.
Yeah,
I love it.
And so it began with family involved and in mind, and it continues to this day. So we don't have customers or clients, but we just invest on behalf of the various families associated with our office.
That's fantastic. And I'm so glad you explained that because I was wondering, how did they get to Headlock?
People are always kind of confused a little bit, but I think it's a really cool legacy to honor the next generation.
Absolutely, because that's what it's about, really. I mean, it's family, and I know that both of you have chosen to raise your families here in West Texas. What is it that you love about our area? Because it is so unique. It is so special. The most beautiful sunsets. I mean, I could go on, but what is it that you love about it?
You know, my family actually is from Lubbock, so I spent my childhood in Lubbock, and just the West Texas people are great, and being around family. And then on the Headlock side, just the amount of business that goes on through Midland is incredible.
It really is. Yeah. Michael?
Well, I'm from Dallas originally. My wife's from Houston. And we both went to Baylor and Waco. But I grew up coming to our family ranch outside of El Dorado. So I knew enough to be dangerous. I hadn't made it this far west yet, but we've loved it. Just kind of everything we heard when we first moved here of you think you'll be here for a year or two, and then you look up like us, and our kids were lifers in school, and now one's graduated and one's about to graduate. So it's just been a great place to be involved in the community, to be involved with athletic events, and just the people here are fantastic. You cannot find a nicer group of people than in Midland.
It happens so fast they grow up, right? And like you said, you're around great people. You're raising them together. And I know that, philanthropic wise, you have been so instrumental in our community. And we're going to talk a little bit about Hotel Santa Rita, because that is a project that I know has been in the works for a couple of years, and a lot of people are excited to hear more about it. But first I want to know, as businessmen, you've had so many challenges in life, right? There's ups, there's downs. What have you learned through those challenges that is actually helping you in this new challenge?
I don't know. What would you say?
Well, one is partnering with good people, and most of our investments we look at the people as opposed to the investment or asset class or whatever else, and that's the same with this project. Of how do you find the right people to bring together to partner with, whether it be architect, design, you name it, across. So we've all worked with great folks. We've been blessed by that. We've had good and bad experiences, but I think finding the right partners is really important.
Yeah.
I love that. Have you had mentors in your life that have really helped you in getting to where you are today?
Yeah, for me, is my dad. We shared a partner's desk in our business that we sold. I still use that today. So for sure, my dad.
Dad, I love it. Yeah. Michael?
Well, and when I first joined Dan at the family-owned business, seeing that dynamic was amazing. I would drive myself bonkers if I sat across from me for 25 years, but they had such a great balance of skill sets and dynamic. So it was really cool to see that, and then to maintain the relationship with his dad as well. So, but that was a unique thing for sure in a family-owned business setting, which was really cool to be part of.
Fantastic.
Very blessed. Yeah.
I love the families at the heart of what y'all do, and I love that you're carrying that over with your children. What do you hope for West Texas? I'm not sure if your kids all plan on staying here, if they're going elsewhere, but what do you hope for families here in West Texas?
And for me, I've got triplets, 2 boys and a girl. They're out of college and working. I've got one back here now, Davis and his wife Margaret, and they've got a 1-year-old next month. And just, I would like it to be a place that they want to settle, raise a family, but also have all the things that you can have anywhere else, and not have to go somewhere else to do those things.
I love that, and I think that's important.
And I'm going to put you on the spot, Dan. Do you have a granddad name yet?
I do not.
Okay.
I can't say. I haven't been called anything yet.
Well, because only one
He
yet.
knows, yeah.
But it's in the works.
Yeah, I think it's in the works. So.
Perfect.
That's always important, You have to figure it out. And then I've also heard the one you pick sometimes translates to something else because they can't quite say it the way that you say it. So you never know what you're going to be called at the end of the day.
Yeah, that's right.
Well, that's exciting. You have one?
Well, no.
Because you're not there yet.
No, ma'am. But in some of the things that also correlate with the hotel, just if you look around, we've been out here for 12 plus years, and it was a thriving community. There's a lot going on 12 years ago, but if you look at today with the average age of the demographics, the average age of being about 30, with some of the enormous job growth and the per capita income and all these things that are really driving this region are just some amazing things. And with that, you have to have quality of place and amenities and things for families to do so that people want to be out here. And you're looking around what's going on in town right now with all of the family-friendly things that the city is working on doing in terms of the park improvements. You look at we have a large number now of COM, of Bush Tennis Center, of the volleyball athletic complex, of the sports complex. And, all these things are exciting to be bringing to Midland, and we just need to continue that trajectory.
And that leads us to the hotel. Oh, go ahead, Dan.
Well, I was going to say, and even the bond for the schools, you just saw how large that passed by, and it's just, I think this younger demographic said, no, we're going to have, if we're going to be in Midland, we're going to have good schools.
That's right. And we want to leave it better than we found it, right?
That's right.
And that's part of what this growth is all about, is really leaving it better than you found it, and having a place where people are proud to come back right after they go to college and come back. So let's talk about Hotel Santa Rita, because this is very exciting. Tell us a little bit about the proposed hotel, and then we're going to talk a little bit about how the community will benefit.
Yeah, so we were talking about this a little over right at 2 years ago. I'm on the Scarborough Foundation board, and one of the things that back in the family's history is they started the hotel, Scarborough Hotel, in 1928. That lasted 50 years, and they said, we've got to do something different. And now we have the Hilton was built there. That's been there 50 years. And there's been 3 or 4 tries at new hotels, and they just didn't work. And we were at our a retreat, and one of the things, we had a speaker there that said, hey, we not only make donations, but we also make missional investments if we need to get something done. And so the light popped on for us is, maybe if we would have known that at the time, we could have helped those other projects come to fruition. And so that's where this kind of idea started. Jack and I and Michael know a friend of ours, a Baylor Bear from El Paso, Paul Foster. He actually owns the property there that we're talking about, where it would be located. Kip and Richard had done the Santa Rita, and we had been investments in it. We loved what they had done. We went to them and said, hey, what do you think about bringing that back? They said, absolutely, here you go. And so that's kind of what happened with the Scarborough Foundation kind of light bulb location, and then it started from there.
Fantastic.
And what was interesting is we were well underway with identifying that property and what does this look like, and what does it feel like. And then the city came out with an RFP to develop the lot just north of that, which is the Western United Life building that's now all dirt today.
Right.
And so we then shifted our concept to, how do we best activate 2 city blocks downtown? And so the concept is that the hotel and related facilities would be at the parking lot on Colorado, looking out over the park, looking out over the convention center, and then next door would be an 800 car parking garage, covered garage with retail and restaurant space on the ground floor, because downtown has no more availability for that type of activity, and there's definitely a need. And if you see what's gone on since the park has come in, since the convention center has come in, our office is above Cancun and Opals and Midland Tower, and the amount of activity, the amount of families walking all over the park, enjoying the activities, playing at the park, and then what it brings to the downtown dynamic has just been great to see. And
Nights and weekends.
and we just see this hotel as the next step of revitalizing downtown.
I love it, because the convention center is it's beautiful. It's perfect. The park, like you said, being utilized
beautiful.
now. I mean, our family, we used to take family pictures there years ago. I don't know if you remember, there was just like a fountain that didn't work in the courthouse, and we'd go there, and we would literally be the only people taking Christmas pictures down there, because, I mean, it just wasn't utilized. Right now, on
It's fantastic.
any given day, you go in December, families are out there, everyone's running and playing and enjoying, and it is such a great space for families to get together. I always say the one thing is, it's expensive raising kids, but parks are free, and you can take your kids to the parks anytime and enjoy the outdoors. And so I feel like this is going to enhance that space even more with that retail and with the parking garage. As you know, people have always said, well, where do you park? And that is taken care of here. What is the other community benefit? Because I just see so many, but tell me what y'all see.
Well, one of the biggest aspects of this is we have this great convention center. I believe it was a $43 million investment by the city to develop this downtown convention center, which is a fantastic facility, but it's just underutilized.
Yes.
And we have the opportunity as the kind of hub of the U.S. energy industry to be able to host large-scale events. But in order to do that, we have to have a nice hotel to accommodate guests. And we just don't have that 4 or 5 star hotel anywhere near Midland. And we've seen so many successful stories across the country of when cities and investors partner to develop a hotel adjacent to or with a convention center. It brings more convention business, brings more activity and more dollars to the town. So it's really, it's a great use of the park with that. And so it's just, those assets are fantastic. They're already there. It's just adding on the hotel so that they can all work together.
Exciting. And a restaurant as well, and banquet rooms. So the possibility to host weddings, galas, quinces, graduation parties, Christmas parties, it's all there.
And maybe to back up a step, the hotel design currently is a 135-room hotel, so it's not ginormous. It's intentional in that size, with probably 8,000 square feet of ballroom space, a 3-meal restaurant inside. We hope to have a market cafe, because if you want to get a Tylenol or a sandwich downtown, there's nowhere really to do that.
Yeah.
And so...
and who doesn't love a good sandwich, right?
Exactly.
Or Tylenol.
Tylenol.
But it's just an asset in the center of downtown that people can use throughout the day. Yeah. Right now, if you wanted to meet somebody for coffee to go over something, it's just hard in the middle of downtown to find those assets. Plus, we're short on parking downtown. There's a need, and so a big portion of the garage will be for public use of the parking lot, as well as downtown employers and as well as the hotel guests.
I love it. And I love that you utilize the bottom floor too for retail space. So let's talk about that. It'll increase, business for not only those businesses that go in, but the other downtown business owners as well, right? It'll definitely benefit them.
Absolutely. And the use of the park at night, if you've been, I don't know if you've used it for movie night.
Yes.
We were down there for the 4th of July. I don't know, it was packed, and just people didn't have anywhere to park. So this will really help.
Fantastic. All right, let's talk money, guys. How does this work? How does the investment work, and what does that look like?
Well, as Dan mentioned before, the last few projects were great in concept, but ultimately ran into problems primarily around financing. And in this economic environment today, raising debt for a hotel project in Midland is very, very challenging. And so we've taken the approach of focused on Midland-based investors, corporations, foundations, individual investors, and let's raise all the money we need to privately and all in equity. And then, so we don't rely on a bank to fund our project. And then we're going before City Council in short order to have them vote on the incentive package, which is a kind of a 5-year cash incentive package with another 10 years of property tax abatements. And this is all very, very common when developing hotels associated with convention centers like this. So we've had a lot of great conversations around town. We have great support. And like I said, it's Midland-based folks and Midland-based groups getting together to try to make this happen.
And that's what I love about it. It's because it is Midland-based. It's not someone coming from out of town, coming in, trying to build something. You guys know what we need, and so I think that is definitely a bonus. Yeah, for sure. Let's talk a little bit about once you get there, you're ready. How long will it take to build a hotel of that magnitude? Because there's so many people that are excited to see something like that downtown.
Yeah, we've got a good jump start on the design. Obviously, you've seen pictures of that.
Yes, it's great.
We will probably go back and just make sure that we have everything right size, the exact number of rooms, exact number of conference space. We probably have another 6 to 9 months of design, pick a contractor, and then probably 18 to 20 months of construction.
Fantastic. Who right now is your primary person that goes downtown? Who's utilizing downtown the most right now? Would you say it's the families? You think it's our community, or is it out-of-towners?
I think it's a cross-section of out-of-towners, business people, it's families, it's people in the park. We look over the park in our office. It's just beautiful, and anytime you go out there, there's different groups of people eating lunch, business people eating lunch, so it's a cross-section.
Well, and when we first moved out here for youth sports, because it's such a big aspect of the community in this town, we were felt like we were in an island, and we were going DFW, San Angelo, Lubbock, all over. But with all these new facilities that we're bringing in terms of our parks and our gym space and our tennis and swimming, we are becoming more of a hub for some of that activity. And so during the week, there's a ton of business travel and whatever you want to call it. But I really am optimistic on the weekend travel as we host more and more events and concerts and sporting athletic events here and for families that come into town.
And I really think it's something that Midlanders could be proud of, to say, hey, you need to stay downtown. We have this great hotel downtown, and you don't really have to leave that area because it's all there for you. And that's,
Midland deserves it, yeah.
They do, absolutely. Well, I wish you the best of luck in seeing this forward. I think it is something that West Texans need and can be proud of. I hope that everyone will follow along and see the timeline and how this will continue to grow our community. But what is your hope? When you look, say, 2 years from now and you're looking downtown, what do you both hope for our community?
I think that this will kick off a lot of things in Midland, not just downtown. I think this will be the anchor to redevelopment downtown, and then just spreading out more things like Michael mentioned, potential volleyball, potential COM, bush tennis, all these things, Midland polo, that we can bring people into town.
Fantastic.
I sure hope it's a 2/3, 3/4 completed hotel and parking garage if everything's going according to plan. So, I mean, this is the time for this project to happen. We're working our best to make it happen.
Love to see the growth, There's nothing better than growth, personally and professionally and community-wise. So I think those are all fantastic things. We are going to circle back one more time to the hotel in case anyone has any questions. I'll let you have one more time to maybe just give a final say about it. But first, we do quote of the day. And so you're like, wait a minute, I just thought this was a podcast. What do we do here? So we pull out a quote out of so you get to pull it out, Dan. Tell me what the quote says.
Motivated?
Got the motivated card. What does the back say?
You're never too old to set another goal or to dream a new dream.
Oh,
C.S. Lewis.
I love that. What does that mean to you?
I think that means the same thing that Mr. Scarborough started in 1928, is we can dream about what Midland can be. And so that was a good one.
I love that. That's great. All right, Michael, your turn.
Okay.
All right, which card did you get?
Friendly.
Friendly card, which fits you so well because you are so friendly. I love that.
Things work out best for those who make the best of how things work out. Things work out best for those who make the best of how things work out.
What does that mean to you?
Working through adversity, finding challenges, overcoming those challenges, or at least fighting as long as you can.
I like it.
Love it. I love it.
John Wooden.
Thank you, John Wooden. He always has good quotes. All right, so now we've come to the point where we talk. I just ask you random things, and you say the first thing that comes to your mind. So, Dan, tell us a fun fact about you.
I have triplets.
That is a fun fact. What was that like when they were babies? I mean, I'm going back to trying to feed and change infants. Wow.
It was crazy. We had a lot of help. We lived in Belleville, which is a small town, and we had literally everybody in town was coming out and helping us at the time.
You're like, if you're family, you're on shift. Come on over.
Come on out. We need it. So
that is a fun fact. Yeah. Michael, fun fact about you.
Oh, gosh. I was trying to think and I got distracted. Fun fact. Oh, gosh. I've never broken a bone.
Hey, that's a fun fact.
That's huge.
Just surgeries. But
that's
never
huge.
Knock
broken
on wood.
a bone.
I love that. Yeah, knock on wood. What's your lowest golf score?
79.
Hey, that's good. Dan, you golfer?
I'm not a golfer.
No.
So somewhere just north of 100.
Hey, me too. High five. Yeah. All right, favorite restaurant in West Texas?
Cancun Grill.
Oh, that's a good one. Yep. We do get Cancun Grill a lot.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'll base it on credit card usage. It's probably Chick-fil-A, just based upon dollars.
Yes, that's hilarious.
So that's a standard go-to. I know. So
yeah, if we're going off credit card usage for the kids, yes, definitely Chick-fil-A. That is hilarious. Okay, favorite coffee shop?
My house.
Okay.
I'm at my house all the time. So
awesome. Yep. We're the same way.
Yeah.
We're like, we're not spending $5 or $6. And occasionally we will. Yeah. But yes, there's nothing like burning it at home too, huh?
Yeah, exactly.
I'll do a plug for Far West
Oh,
Coffee.
Far West is good. Far West.
We both live in the neighborhood near it.
We're down the street. They're awesome.
You go there on a Saturday and it's packed. But kids, families, dogs. It's an adventure getting in there, but I love that they're there and local and doing good.
And I love the vibe.
Yes.
When you walk in,
We
there
hang
is
out
a
there.
cool vibe for sure. I love that. All right, favorite life hack, something that makes your life easier.
Excel.
That's a good one.
If the software Excel didn't exist, I would be homeless.
Right.
So that is my life hack.
I like it. That is a good one. Dan?
I would think text, probably for me. I can
Texting?
communicate so fast with that. So
Yeah.
it keeps a lot of balls in the air, a lot of plates spinning.
Yes, for sure. Favorite movie?
Lonesome Dove.
Oh, it's a good one.
Mm-hmm.
It's a good one. Yeah.
Oh man, for a while it was Braveheart, but
Elf.
it's been well, Elf's a favorite. My kids won't let me watch anymore with them on the holidays because I've out-elfed them.
I love it. My favorite part is, well, one of them. World's greatest coffee. You did it. You're the world's greatest coffee.
Rango. Rango.
That cracks me up. Oh, it's a good one. Yeah. So, Elf.
Oh gosh, that's my favorite ever. But yeah, sure, we'll go with that.
Okay. Favorite book. Oh, it's okay. It's my phone ringing.
No, one of them's over here.
Oh, we got phones ringing everywhere.
No, is it Ray Dalio? Is that?
Oh, the book.
Yes.
Is that right? Is that right?
Yeah.
That is a good one.
It's a great book.
Isn't it great?
Atomic Habits is a great book.
I love Atomic
I
Habits.
saw us walking in, and so
You saw my book spread there.
I'm typically more fiction, but those two were great books.
Those are excellent books. And I've got some local books in there too. We've got Amy Weatherly and Jimmy Patterson wrote a book. So if we have an author that comes on, I always like to add their book to the Book of Fame, Hall of Fame right
Is it
there.
The History of Midland? Or what's that book?
It's the one on Ali Sheba
Oh,
that he
yeah.
wrote.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So good books. All right. Did your
And you see, you have a Bob Goff. He's awesome.
Bob Goff is good.
Yeah.
Yep. Good stuff. Good stuff. All right. Favorite. We're getting close to the end. Oh, I love this one. Favorite memory here in Midland.
I met my wife, Jenny, after Shelling Jack's wedding at the bar.
Oh, I love that. That's how y'all met?
Yep.
I was going to ask if you met in college, but
Here in Midland.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
Came out to see Jack get married, and after their wedding, everybody went there, and that's where we met.
Fantastic. Love that. Love that.
What's going to be hard to trump that one?
I know. Michael's like, thanks, Dan. I could have gone first,
Liz is gonna. My wife is not going to like this. It's not a favorite memory, but it is it's forever ingrained. Of when we moved out here, our house wasn't quite ready for us to move into yet, and the housing shortage was just terrible back then. It's not that much better today, but it was really hard to find a place. And we drove up to a home sight unseen, and it was a disaster. And so moving here, cars loaded up and walking out to this place and stepping out, and it was
Shock.
It's, Liz. Yeah.
but it all worked out.
Good. Liz is happy now.
She's gonna hate that I told this story. But it was an adventurous first couple months there, but it all worked out well.
I love that. Favorite nonprofit? We have so many amazing nonprofits here in West Texas. If you wanted to shout one out today, which one would you like to shout out?
For me, Young Life
Yes.
here, and it's not just Midland, but it's kind of around the world. But it's been really strong here in Midland for a lot of years.
Yes, I
Lot of
love
support.
that. It's so good for the kids. It really is. I love their mission. I love what they do. I love the joy in the kids' faces when they are leaving.
Yes,
When you go to pick up and you're picking them up,
exactly.
it's pretty awesome.
They have a good time. The way they present the gospel is awesome.
It really is. Absolutely. And Michael?
Well, it's a nonprofit, but a plug for Trinity School.
Oh, yes.
Our family's been there for a long time and been involved with the school, and it's just it's a great place for our kids to go on to school. I'll also do a plug for Midland Shared Spaces. We were both involved with that organization
Great.
for a while, and they do some terrific work for local nonprofits.
Fantastic. Great organization. So support those however you can. Before we leave today, I always like to ask our guests, is there anything coming into today's interview we didn't get to talk about yet? It could be anything. It could be on your life hacks. It could be on favorite memories in Midland. It could be on the hotel. Whatever you would like to say. Is there anything you were like, oh, I really wanted to say that but didn't get to say it yet?
I think we covered a lot.
Okay. Michael's thinking.
I'm thinking. I mean, going into this hotel project, I think I would say we know enough about hotels to be super dangerous because we've stayed in hotels. But we've learned a lot in this process, and we've engaged with a lot of great folks that are experts in their field, and just excited about the opportunity to see this development move forward. And I think it's an exciting opportunity for Midland and the region.
Absolutely. Well, we're excited too. Thank you so much for sharing your time today and sharing your stories. It was fun. I enjoyed getting to know y'all better, and I know our audience did as well, and to get to know more about Hotel Santa Rita. Of course, you'll be hearing more about this in weeks to come, and so we're excited to see the growth and the progress and how this will really be the anchor of downtown Midland. So thank you, gentlemen.
Thanks again for having us on.
Thank you so much. And thank you for sharing your time with us. As always, I appreciate, I know your time is precious. So if you're in the car listening, if you're on that walk this morning, I hope that you were encouraged, you learned something. Remember, we're all about helping you live your best life here. We want to bring value to your life every day here at the Krista Escamilla Show. So don't forget to subscribe if you're watching on YouTube. And if you're listening on Apple, Google Play, Spotify, go ahead and hit that download button. I like to see those downloads go up, so I appreciate that. And most importantly, share it with someone that you love, that you know could benefit from today's show or from any of our shows. We've had some amazing guests, just like our guests today, and we're all learning together, and we are all here to make the world a better place. So thank you for that. Also, thank you to our sponsors, Kevin Foreman of Foreman Financial, Rig ID Workwear, Midland Cap Company, Thin FR, and also joincapclub.com. Support local. I feel like I should have like a banner that says support local everywhere we go. And of course, don't forget my mottos: dream big, believe, and never give up. Thanks for joining us. You make it a great day.